You need to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Okay. I think we're live now. Actually, what I should have done is just do a quick check that we are live. Oh God, my screen's flashing left, right, and centre.
Do you want me?
In a
Let's
good
make
way.
sure that we are. Can you all see yourselves? Is anybody else looking? It says we're streaming live, so apologies, I'm gabbling to anybody that's tuned into this. But welcome. Actually, I need to keep this up so that I can see. We are live. I need to see any comments that might come up. For those of you that are watching, welcome. If you're watching on replay, then it's always nice to do the hashtag replay. And what I'm finding, look at these guys. What I'm finding is Facebook is being a bit of a bugger to me at the moment, and it's not showing anything to anybody. So please do the hearts, do the comments so that Facebook shows it to you. It seems to be making decisions for us rather than actually allowing us to step into our power and make our own decisions about what we want to do. So you're like, I wasn't allowed to invite you to this event because apparently, you know, you might not like it. Well, actually, that's up to you. I can invite you and you can say no, and that's fine, but it's not their choice. Sorry, bit of a rant. Not happy with Facebook at the moment. And Facebook is obviously hiding me because I'm not getting any comments on stuff that I'm putting out on my personal page either. So it's really interesting. Anyway, Teresa's on.
Hey, hi, Teresa.
So is Becky Whitehouse. It's lovely to see you all. Right, I'm gonna flick. I'm gonna go around the thing. Actually, it's different on my screen, so I'm going to push it slightly differently. So, oh, everybody's got the names, so it's all right. I can introduce Amy, Debbie, Francesca, and Katie. All of them have been on the last round of the Connected Blueprint. So I'm very pleased to welcome them and really just to talk a bit about the Connected Blueprint and give you, you know, if you've got questions, then ask the questions. These guys, they have been briefed, to be honest. I'm not in here. Oh, I've just got shivers down my spine then. I'm not here to kind of bullshit you or make out that it's something it's not, because that's not how I work. And it's also not in my interest to do so. You know, if you're thinking of coming on the Connected Blueprint, I want you to be doing this next time. So I need to make sure that you get what you need out of it. So that's really, really important to me. And Teresa will know because I've done this with her as well. So it's one of the things that I love to do after we finish the Connected Blueprint. I might do it for my recent money mindset one as well, actually thinking about it when I do that next. But anyway, these ladies have done tremendously well. And I have a few questions just to kind of get the conversations going. But if you've got any questions, then please do ask them. So Teresa said that course is amazing. And this is the point, actually, is that I can say how good it is and how proud I am of it. But I want you to realize, like, you don't have to believe me. This is what others say. So I've got some questions. One of the things that I think is really interesting to understand from people that are deciding to come on a course is kind of what to expect. You know, where were you, Amy? I'm going to ask you first. Where were you before you started the Connected Blueprint, and what's happening in your life now or your business now?
To put it simply, I was ready to give up. I was made redundant 7 years ago, and I'd been working as a freelancer. And then during the pandemic, I set up as a business because I wanted to work directly with businesses rather than through agencies. And I'd been plodding along, and I had the odd good month, but actually most of that was when I was working for agencies. When I was on my own, it just felt like I never felt like a proper business owner. I always felt like I was kind of playing at it a bit. And in the back of my mind, there was always constantly like job alerts coming through, and all of that's just like the constant. Would I be better off? Would the more sensible decision be to go and work full time with all the issues that would have around the family? Constantly in the back. That's been in the back of my mind for 7 years. And then I will never forget. Luke, my husband, and I going for drinks towards the end of last year, and him saying to me, when in your mind, what's your sort of time limit? When will you decide, right, I can't do this, I'm going to go and get a job instead? And I remember saying to him, I don't want to, that isn't an option. And that was, by that point, I was working with you, and you had taken me from worrying that I was just being silly and that I wasn't clever enough and I wasn't sensible and organized enough to be able to be a business owner, to no, actually, this is what I really want. So I was earning, I did, when we did our tax returns earlier in January, trying to think when I did mine, because I always do mine late. I was looking right back at the start of 2022.
You need Teresa, by the way.
Yeah, I do. I know I need Teresa. She's on my list. And she's able to be on my list now because I'm at the right point of earning. But yeah, so it was £200-300 a month. And when I look back at it, I remember, I think I messaged you and I was like, no wonder I was so worried, because it just wasn't enough. It was barely enough. It wasn't covering James's nursery fees. I hadn't paid for his nursery fees for a year. Luke was taking all of that on. I didn't have any spending money for myself, so everything was going on a credit card. And so it was a real battle. And I watched one of your masterclasses. I think it was Money Mindset, wasn't it? And I straight away,
it's actually going to be very similar to the one I'm doing on Tuesday. The one that you watched. So it's Tuesday's masterclass, but not as good as Tuesday, because I've learned so much more since then. So go on.
To it now, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was just, I think I watched it in my garden, and I was listening to you wandering around doing the washing or something, and I was like, I need this. Because it was the last roll of the dice. Yeah. It was like I know that it's a lot of money and I'm not even earning that money, but I've just got to find a way of doing it. And it's been transformational, like genuinely, not even exaggerating, because I've gone from those £200-300 months. Literally, within a couple of weeks of signing up with you, I had a new client. So it was just like it opened me up to opportunities. And we have now reached a point where I am on my 5th month of over 1k. That we started 2023 with that being my target, but it was like, well, I'm doing that. So Sam's now made me double my target. So
your target originally was £600 a month, wasn't it? And you literally did that overnight at one point. You know, as soon as you said that, you were there. And it was like, we need to stretch this. Come on, more.
Exactly. So I'm now on my 5th month over 1,000. All but one of those have been over 1,200. 1,200 was the big milestone for me, because that's what I was earning when I was in full-time employment before I got made redundant. So that was a massive one for me. And the last 2 months, I was less than £100 off hitting 1,500, which was just, that's the halfway point, because I want to be equal with Luke one day. So that was like, right, I'm getting there.
But the thing is, like, the thing to remember is you're doing this in 3 days, because you're actually wanting to create a bubble around 2 days of work, or 2 days in the week, where you get to spend with your youngest before he goes back to school, isn't it? Yeah. So, because I know we're already planning what you're doing in September. We've already talked about that, so watch out for Amy in September. You need what she's got. It's amazing. So you're already doing that. So that's what's incredible, is that you've got this real strong boundary about what you're actually working within. And earning what you wanted, but not even full-time yet.
Yeah, exactly. That just blows my mind, that I'm earning what I did when I was full-time, but I'm only doing 3 days a week. It's nuts. And it's, you often say in your content, it's not about working more, it's about working better. And that's what it's been for me. It's, you have given me the focus that I needed. I think I was just trying everything and just overloading. I was overloading myself. And it's funny, because I always talk in my content about focusing on one thing so your audience can get to know you, and you have helped me do that for my business. And that was the thing, I think, for me. And like
I
you
think
said,
that's a classic one though. A lot of us are very good at giving advice for everybody else, but doing it ourselves, embodying it ourselves, we're not so good at. I'll take a bit of credit, you know, I'm a bit like that in some of these things. So Teresa said, oh, she misses us all. So yeah, and you've done amazingly well, and you know, you went so fast through all of that, and you had some pretty grotty clients when we first met, because I remember one of the first sessions we were in coaching, everybody's going, get rid, she's horrible, she's horrible.
and I ended last year turning down work from her, and I was just like, no, I'm really sorry, but I am full. I can't do it. I haven't got the space.
It's the right, and we welcome the right people in, don't we, to work with us. So,
yes, I'm now working with some lovely, wonderful, talented clients
that aren't on this screen at all. I'm trying to work out where you are on it.
But you guys gave me the confidence. I went from doing people's content for them, really not enjoying it, never charging enough, because I was scared people wouldn't pay, so I was really scared about charging people more money, to, do you know what, no, I don't want to do other people's content for them. I want to give them the confidence to make it. And now I get to do the planning and the strategy, which really makes me feel good. It makes me feel like an expert.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to empower other people because you've given me the confidence to.
And that was key, wasn't it? Was that stepping into your power and doing what you enjoy?
Yeah.
That's what created the momentum, the gain of the clients, and gave you the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? See, brain fog's getting me now. There was something else that I wanted to say on there. It's going to come back to me in a moment. I'm going to just keep going. No, it's not. But okay. So it was about doing what you love that lit you up, that brought in the clients. I can't remember. Sorry. I will come back to it.
Didn't you? You said, what would your perfect working day be? Something else you've done is make me keep going with my writing, because that
was significant. I remember that right at the beginning when we did the vision. It was so far off from what you were doing. It was like, hold on a moment, we need to kind of connect the two to bring them together, to bring that joy, to bring that light to you. So yeah, it was because the path that you were on was never going to fulfill your soul.
My authentic vision.
Yeah, it was connecting the two that made it actually work. And it's not necessarily that you're doing, you know, the writing as a business at this point in time, but you've got it as part of what you do, so that it creates that soul fulfillment that you need to be able to enjoy it. That's what I was going to say, was the fact that you stepped into your power as the expert, which was one thing, and changed the way you work. So instead of doing the content, you helped someone do the content. So that was your soul, you know, lighting up of helping people. But also you talked about value. You were undercharging, and you started charging the right amount, so felt fulfilled because you felt valued from the money that you were receiving. And that you weren't running yourself ragged for a couple of £100 a month. That makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Amy, I'm proud of you all. I am incredibly proud of you all. I love you all dearly, and you are amazing. And Katie, you've had quite a transformation yourself as well, haven't you? You've gone from kind of loads. Do you want to talk a bit about what you've done?
Yeah, I was probably, because I think you've said before, I was earning $750 a month. It was between $750 and £1,000. It covered things. It was fine. I really didn't fully know what I was earning.
That's the point that got me, was you didn't fully know what you were earning.
No, I didn't have a clue. I mean, I did do my taxes, but like I found out at the end of the year what was coming in. Because I remember I would take a job and would be like, oh, cool, that's the rent paid that month, and I have an extra £50 left. Sweet, I mean, I would have like other pieces, but that was how I thought of it. It was like a month's work or a month's rent. Whereas now I have my wee post-it that you can't see because of the light. Oh, yeah, there you go. With money that comes in, which actually includes, I found like 20 cents on the road, 2 10 cents 2 days in a row. It was very strange. And I was like, that gets you good in too, because it's a good day.
Brilliant.
more, yeah, so I'm much more conscious of exactly what comes in, and then that has allowed me to spend money on things like the Connected Blueprint, but also then continuing to work with you and to work with Amy, because I'm like, it's a business expense. And a bit like Amy, I think of myself now more as a business owner, and I refer to it as a business, whereas before I was like, yeah, teach meditation. And that was like, I'm still doing that, that's what I do, but I am more the owner. But also the fact that I've invested in Amy as well, it's another like the fact that I can afford it, but also that I've added that as I'm like, this is a business expense, and I have separate accounts now. I have like a business account and my personal account, whereas they used to just be the same thing, which means that I can mentally just think of them differently. It's been a big change.
That is the second week of Money Week, isn't it? That we actually go through all of that and kind of talk about profit first and the different pots of money and things like that. So, and before we came on, you talked about upgrading, didn't you? As one of your favorite things.
Yeah, so the upgrading thing is in it, and I think we said it was the second week of the Money Week, and I sent Sam a message, I don't know, it was maybe a month ago, and was like, I have this thing in my Todoist. It says Sam Blueprint upgrade. What the hell am I talking about? And Sam got back to me and told me. But I went and did it again. Nice underwear. But I went back and did it again, and that was why I realized it says do it every 6 months. But I did it then. I mean, I don't think it was fully the 6 months, but I did go back and do it. So it's stuff that you can use like over and over again. And I think one of the biggest things that I took away from it, as much as I absolutely resisted to the end, was the forgiveness. I think you had to tell me twice, maybe it was 3 weeks in a row, that you were like, just do the forgiveness. I think that was the third week you were practically shouting at me.
I don't shout normally. I'm not nasty shouting. I'm just like, can you please?
It was such a big, there was so much in it. I think I was afraid of all of that was in it. And I had said, sure, I'll be there all day. And it was an awful lot that was there. But like when you do it in bits, because what I had done was I have a notebook, it's still out in the kitchen, and I would write down things randomly as I would think of them. And usually I'd write one and then would come up with another 4. But because I did it kind of in bits like that, I then was kind of excited to be able to pull out the pages and burn them, because I love burning stuff to release it. And that felt really cathartic in itself. But it definitely was probably the biggest thing, the biggest piece of it.
So and that's one of the things. I mean, money is what we focus on, and we feel shame for wanting it, but we do need it, and all of that sort of stuff. And we've got the Money Weeks, and I know they're at the end, but we need to do all the other stuff beforehand, to enable us to create the flow at that point.
And I was thinking the other day that I felt it was really nice, but also kind of funny that we were all struggling with the stuff at the beginning, and you were like, I'm so sorry. But I mean, I think we were all very aware you need to go through difficult stuff in order to come out, and you need to process and release a whole load of stuff that has happened in order to be able to come out. But it was just so funny that you felt so bad that we were struggling.
It's like, I want the best for you, and I'm like sat there and you're going, oh my goodness, this is, and you had some huge realizations, didn't you, and some significant shifts at that point that were very difficult to do. And it was about holding space for you, and the joy of Zoom is I can reach so many more people, but the disappointment of Zoom is I can't physically give you a hug, and the amount of times I've had to do this and go, I love you, and just it can be so difficult because you're not there for me to sit and listen to. But you're
always available when I'm going, here, this thing has come up. And that's another thing that's actually changed. I have started actually telling you, whereas before I just wouldn't say anything. And I've said to you that I've been going, oh, I don't know if like I'm interrupting your weekend, or I don't know if she actually wants to hear this, but I tell you anyway. So I don't particularly care a huge amount if it is actually.
They're all going, yeah, we do that too. Yeah, we're there.
That's it's relatively new for me to do it a lot more now, and I think that's been through all of the stuff that I released. And then next week I'm doing like an actual launch. I'm doing a masterclass, and I'm really, really nervous, and I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for having done all of the work previously, because a big thing, a bit like Amy, is stepping into the fact that I'm the expert, because I've had the thought a lot before, oh, I don't have kids, what would I know? I know about meditation and I know what works because I've taught so many children. It's just letting myself
better at it than me. I've got kids. I can't do that. They won't do meditation with me. They'll do it with you. They won't do it with me at all. So
I hear that
that's the point.
Well. Yeah, teachers are like, oh no, they wouldn't do that for me, but they will do it for me. They'll do it for me, but they won't do it for their class teachers.
And that's why that's the case. And stepping into being that expert is so important, because that's what gives your clients the confidence to then invest in you.
Yes.
So yeah, incredibly important. I'm again so proud of you, as everybody else. You're amazing. Thank you. I'm going to ask Debbie next, because I know that Debbie was very hesitant to do the Connected Blueprint, and that's okay. That's normal, right? Most people do. I get scared when I invest. It's kind of easier to invest in something that's tangible or physical and removed, like a website or something like that. But when you invest in yourself and you've got to work on yourself, that's bloody hard to do. So I do recognize that. But I think it's quite important to actually be open and honest about this. Debbie, I know we had a chat beforehand when we were doing kind of working on the Connected Blueprint going in. What sort of things were holding you back from going for it at the time?
Everything.
There you go.
I think the easiest one to say is money. I was worried that I would commit money wise, but then just not commit to the course properly. That scared me, because I thought, well, if I commit and I spend all that money and then I waste it, that was a massive fear. And I think having to face up to things that I had been hiding from, that was Katie. Yeah.
There's a reason why we're holding it back. We don't want to face it, do we?
No.
It's scary. So, okay, so the first one, do you think I'd let you get away with wasting your money?
No.
And so you did have to deal with some of the stuff that came up, because we have to if we want to make shifts. How did you feel about doing some of that work?
It was hard, very hard, emotionally, very, very hard. It's sort of, for me, sometimes the more emotional side of things were harder than the business side of things, a lot harder. But I've had greater gains from the emotional side for doing the hard work.
I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but your background is that you weren't allowed to be emotional, were you?
No.
So emotions weren't something that you've had been able to work with. So it's kind of a bit of a new concept to you, and almost rewiring the way that you work and allowing yourself. And I've talked this week in the training that it's not all about taking the action. Sometimes it's sitting there and allowing these things.
Yeah.
And we're very good at keeping ourselves busy to avoid that sort of
Working downstairs, Debbie.
So and I know that you were there, and I don't want to put words into your mouth. I mean, you diligently did the work, you diligently turned up, you committed, even though you were afraid of not doing the work, you committed and you wholeheartedly did it. I don't think I'm wrong saying that she is the star pupil of the last course. Everybody will agree.
It wasn't great for that.
Teacher's pet.
But you diligently did it, and I know that was really, I recognize how hard that was. Well, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but you opened up a lot.
Yeah.
And I take it that you felt that there was a safe place to be.
Oh yeah.
And that, you know, it was okay to do that, and you felt comfortable to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's really important as well, that we hold space for you, that everybody gets the opportunity to have that conversation that they need, but feel comfortable to have the conversation as well. Because there's some stuff that comes out, isn't there? Without going into detail, there's some grotty stuff that has to come out.
Yeah.
It's a bit like your cold, Fran. It needs the snotty stuff needs to come out.
Not very pretty when it does, though, is it?
No, but at the same time, it is beautiful to witness from my perspective, because I can see how it leaves your body, and that you're left with this rising. And to everybody that's watching, Debbie has gone from not being sure of what she was doing, like doing a product business and hiding behind it.
Yep.
And now, and I only caught a glimpse of it. I need to go back and look at it. I've just seen the branding that Fran's done for you.
It's very pretty.
I'm actually like, I have got complete jealousy over it. I'm like thinking, oh, mine looks shit now. Oh God.
It is fantastic.
It's the photo of Debbie that got me. The difference.
With me. It's just it was that, like, I am here. I will help you. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I'm so excited. And Debbie and I are working together going forward as well, because we're going to build this business for her. Well, I'm not going to build it. She's building it, and I'm there helping her along the way. So I'm really excited, and we're working on something different there as well. So she's continued to work with me. I think actually you've all continued to work with me in different ways since as well, which is amazing. And you're all in my membership as well, of course. So okay, so Debbie, you've been brilliant. Fran, I know you were like, fuck it at the end. I've just done it. But you were like, whoa, before you did go for it, weren't you?
Yeah, so I was a lurker for a long time. Obviously I had worked with you before, but yeah, I didn't see myself as anybody who liked groups, which is why I booked the one-to-ones with you. yeah, it wasn't my forte, or so I thought.
You didn't think you were a people person, and how different is that now?
Yeah, I love these ladies, and actually, like, they have been amazing throughout the entire course, and I've made true friendships as well along the journey. It's not just business friends, they're true friends now that I know that I can message with anything and they'll be supportive, which was something that when I first took the plunge, I was like, oh my God, all this shit's going to come up, all this pain, all this heartache, and it's going to be in front of some random strangers, and they're going to think I'm losing my mind, they're going to think I'm a nut job. And actually it was nothing like that at all.
Because we were doing the same
that.
thing.
We just accept you for what you are.
I have a nut job. I'm Harley Quinn.
We all are. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The people that claim to have it together, they don't.
No.
We're all like losing it at some point, but it's about this. And I think that's the thing, is the business besties as well is so important, isn't it? Because you do share so much. But you're so funny. Considering Fran's not feeling very well, she's doing brilliantly with it all. So,
I might need a nap after this.
Yeah, you deserve a nap, to be honest. Because I mean, you said to me, I don't know whether I've got time because I'm so fully booked. It's your own fault.
Yeah, well, I am now fully booked throughout of March. March is full month. April has 4 slots left. And I am £117 off my £3,000 target.
Oh my God.
That is awesome. That is so amazing. I am so pleased, because it's been up and down for you. There's been a lot of
massively.
sabotage, and you've had amazing months and then completely fallen through a hole afterwards, haven't you? And it's like, where have you gone? Trying to scrabble down, where have you gone? So it's like, I'm so pleased that you're coming up, and we're working on that consistency, aren't we? That you're creating.
I think I had a good month I'm sure I had a good month before March. I think I've reached my target. I think I was a little bit off my target. And then obviously March is my event. And April obviously is nearly completely full now. So I'm now trying to work on filling May up. But at least I know I've got that sort of coming in.
You can forecast, you can see it all happening, which is, is the dream, isn't it? To have that level of knowledge that that's all what's happening. So I've got a final question for all of you, and it's whoever wants to answer. And what do you think people watching this need to know about the Connected Blueprint?
Oh, don't all jump at once, will you?
That Sam will be really Sam will be really supportive and isn't going to let you fall off even during it. Because I know you've talked a lot before about some other course, and people have dropped out, but I am pretty confident that if I just started not responding, you'd be like, Katie, and I'd come back just to get you off my back, because you'd be after me. But you're not going to let people drop off. But also you get to know other people in the course as well, and you will like them as much as you don't know if you will, or there's an awful lot of support. But even just if it's just Sam, she will give you all the support that you need as well.
Yeah. I think for me, this is what I wish I'd done 2 years ago. I wish I'd done this when I set up the Content Planning Wizard. I wish I'd done this course first, because then I'd have been focused on what I needed to do, what I wanted to do, rather than trying to figure out what everybody else wanted from me. And that was just not getting me anywhere. So I you get quite often on social media, I'll see if you could speak to yourself, if you could help, like, new business owners, what advice would you give them? What would you give yourself 5 years ago? It would be, get a business coach. And that is what I tell everybody now, is get a business coach. And doing this course, it's the first thing. Sam and I work together helping other people with their social media, but the reason I work with Sam is because I want to work with ladies that have done this work and they know what they want, and then we can start doing the next step of how we get social media to help with that. So that's, for me, this is the starting point. If you're struggling and you're just plodding along like I was, this is the starting point. Is figure out where you're going wrong, basically.
This is the thing, a lot of people think, oh, I need a flashy website, or, no disrespect to you, Amy, because I know we've had the discussion, I need to post more on social media. But I know you turn around to me and say, she doesn't need me, she needs to come to you first before she comes to me. And like, this is what makes all the other stuff work. If you don't do this work, and I'm not saying you have to do it with me, but if you don't do this work, you are not going to get everything else working.
I think the thing is as well, it isn't just about the business, because it helps you grow so much as a person. So even though at the end of the course you're sitting there going, I can't see that much change, but then when you look at how far you've come on a personal development level, is in your personal life, being able to have balance, for me, has been a major one, like with my children and my husband and everything else. It's so much more than just helping you grow your business. It's definitely more about understanding yourself, confidence, work-life balance. It's just so much more than just focus on your business. So for anybody who wants to go in it, they'll get more than just the outcome. The outcome at the end is great, don't get me wrong, but I would still pay that again just for me to grow personally than I would as just a business.
Wow, I don't think I can say much more than that, can I? Thank you.
I mean, cry.
I know. Well, have you not noticed that I've been like dealing with my mascara? I must buy waterproof mascara. when you all joined back in July, I remember thinking, oh my goodness, this is just, I know, because I'd kind of all I get to know people, don't I? So I'd known you all to different degrees, and I knew that this was going to be an incredible course. And just having you all together has been an absolute pleasure. And to be part, to witness your growth. And, you know, it's, do you know, years ago, I just remembered when I did a leadership course back in my Ericsson days, we had to draw a shield, and we had to draw where we were and where we want to be. And I drew it as a big head because I wanted to be knowledgeable and the expert and stuff like that. And I feel like you've all got that big head, that you've grown, that you're, yeah, that sounds really rude, doesn't it? Sorry. I'm great at these analogies, aren't I? I'm forever insulting you all. And you can see anybody watching this is kind of the conversations that we have. I had to start this call half an hour before so that we had the conversations, that it didn't like go in. And you can even say, I said, we need to keep it to 30 minutes. And Debbie, even on her testimonial questions, turned around and said, maybe the coaching needs to be a bit more concise, but then you wouldn't have to do that if it wasn't such a chatty group, would you? This is kind of it was an absolute pleasure. I was really sad when it came to an end, so I've been really glad that we kind of continued together in the mastermind and then in the prosperity circle as well. So I am so honored to be part of your journey, so incredibly lucky to be part of your circle, to know you all, and to be friends with you all as much as anything as well. And I know that the future holds so many good things for you all. And the ripple effect that I see with your families and the conversations that you have about what you're doing is just incredible. And I am just so incredibly honoured to be part of it. So thank you. Thank you for coming on the Connected Blueprint. Thank you for trusting me to take you on the journey. Thank you for being part of my journey. And thank you for today as well. I love you all. Take care. Right, I'll take us off live and then we can have, like, you can do what you want, but I don't know how to take us off live. It's